Hey everyone, welcome to the Cloaks of Mindhelm, 5e D&D stream from Penny Dragon Games. I'm Ben, I'm the DM, and all of these fine folks are, unfortunate players that have been stuck with me, the cruelest dungeon master in the world, apparently, these poor people.
Didn't they hit a small mouse?
Yeah, exactly. So the Cloaks of Mindhelm, for those who have just joined us, aren't familiar, is the story of the brown cloaks of the city of Mindhelm, the lowest rung on the city watch ladder, doing all the dirty jobs that no one else wants to do. And actually, a majority of the party here, at least initially, not of their own free will. They've all kind of basically got ankle bracelets on, except they're on their wrist. So just before getting into it, intros and everything, just like to thank you for joining us. It really helps. And if you've been enjoying the Cloak stream, going forward, we also have streams every Tuesday. We've got Fellowship of the Fallen. Next Friday, we'll have the Sophron Saga back and the Violet Madness, our most recent stream. Then the following weeks, every other Friday, we have Humblewood, the Churn Gang, and then we're here on the alternate Sunday. So tons of streams, to check out. So definitely worth considering following the channel. It really helps us out, and you get some good D&D out of it. So without any further ado,
better yet, subscribe.
Better yet, subscribe. Yes, that was I forgot the word. Thank you. My brain is not at 100% capacity today. So I am just going to go around and we can introduce ourselves to the fine folks at home. Well, Nico, you're actually up first on my Zoom. So why don't you tell us who you're playing in?
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Nico. I play Petrie. He is a rock gnome alchemist artificer with a pretty cheeky past of spiking his wealthy clients' potions with things he's not supposed to do. And he now finds himself among the brown cloaks as a little bit of a punishment, I suppose. Atoning for what he did to get back in the good graces with his guild.
Yeah, I think, creative, in ingenuity, these are, words I think that Petrie would rather.
He's a brilliant genius little shit.
Yeah, not criminal, just extra
gets into
legal.
trouble. He's charming. He's got a heart of gold. He just bends the rules a little too much.
Yeah,
snaps them and really.
Speaking of bending the rules, Fona, can you tell us a little bit about who you're playing?
I play Andy, who's a young human rogue. She got caught doing just a little bit of B&E, somewhat not B&E she wanted to be doing in the first place. Got sent to prison and decided to take her chances with the work release to the Brown Cloaks and try to get away from it. So, she's doing her time and also doing everything in her power to try and figure out how to get the pretty bracelet off, including walking around with her vibrating stone.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for it to vibrate one of these days.
Yes, that could take, There's probably more explanation than we have time for behind that little anecdote.
Yeah, and besides, she, given her most recent trouble with the threats and the suggested actions she could take, i.e. killing two of her party members, she may not live long enough for the stone to ever vibrate, but we'll see.
Yes, we will see. As you can see, obviously the brown cloaks, local law enforcement are really definitely not desperate for recruits at all, considering, But who have I got next? Who is it? Kyle, you're next up.
So I am playing Pouches. Words. Pouches. I'm playing Pouches, the hedge wizard, who, unlike the rest of his party, is not on work release from prison.
No, but he's probably the one that should,
Oh yes, he's probably the one that should be most likely. But thanks to his big sis, Navani has protected him his whole life, and now for the first time, he's on his own. And
yeah,
I don't think I can't think of anyone that should scare more than the other three people in this party.
I know. Yeah, that was in his high school yearbook, most likely to get convicted.
I think in his high school yearbook, it was most likely to blow up the high school because he was trying to experiment with magic in the basement.
Well, there was no need to put that in the high school yearbook because he had already done that the previous year.
Probably true.
Yeah, and last but certainly not least, our poor suffering Boyd, surrounded by these jagaloons.
What's up, folks? I'm Boyd. I'm going to be playing Dural Stonehelm. So let's see. He's a young, naive dwarf who gets real testy when he delves into dungeons deep. He's a pugilist, which is a homebrew class made by the talented Benjamin Hoffman. He's available on DM's Guild if you're interested. I highly recommend it. It's like a strength-based monk instead of a dex-based monk. We're focused on boxing. He loves Tales of Old Adventurers and is obsessed with them like an 8-year-old is obsessed with Spider-Man. And he likes to punch rocks and swear a lot in a dwarven fashion.
Hell yeah. What more could you want, yeah? Swearing, rock punching dwarves. Isn't that why we all got into D&D? So
Oh, I did.
Yeah. So now, where am I? Just make sure I've got this already. Yeah, so where we left off the last time, you had just been called in for briefing for your next mission, with Patri having just only recently kind of joined the squad. And while in there, I think both pouches anyway. I don't remember, and I can't remember if Andy did. I don't think so, but I had noticed that in your captain's office just before he came out for the briefing was a woman called Briona Belmont, or that woman in disguise. And this woman is a prominent middleman, which is an organization of smugglers in the city. And so you had noticed that, and Captain Galloway had come hobbling into the room and announced that he had a new mission for you. And so that he begins to explain that there's been unrest in what is affectionately known as Camp Carbuncle, which is effectively a refugee camp outside the walls of the Drains. So this is to get into Minehelm. People need to pay a toll at the city gates, one of the legitimate city gates, and there are taxes incurred. But obviously, there's lots of people who come to the city in search of a better life that don't have a lot of money, and then so these sort of a tent city, kind of a camp has sprung up where everyone is kind of pushed away from the gate and pushed towards the neighborhood of the Drains. But even getting into the Drains, they would need to pay some tolls. But it is a lot easier to sneak into the Drains. And so, for instance, smugglers like the middlemen do quite a trade in basically extorting people, they charge less than the city gate toll, but, you maybe give them some money and, they say they'll take you into the sewers. There's a decent chance you may or may not return, but it's relatively 50-50, but people are desperate. So for one reason or another, people that have tried to get into Minehelm but haven't been able to, they often they congregate in this camp, which has come to be known as Camp Carbuncle, or sometimes just Carbuncle. But Captain Galloway explains that there are some thugs that have been intimidating these, poor, kind of desperate people. Not that unusual because of the smuggler extortion, but it's more violent than is normally tolerated by the powers that be. So, but in fact, these thugs have been clashing with the middlemen, who they've become a bit overwhelmed since fighting's not really their forte. The smugglers are generally left alone by the three major gangs inside the city because, well, they kind of all rely on them and they all do business with them. And so, it's not really good for business to be kind of hassling with such an important distribution network. But these thugs, brigands from outside the city seem to just be, just causing hassle and causing violence. And so the locals sort of are getting a bit nervous about this gang of brigands, the locals in within Minehelm, close to it, but also in, villages and towns beyond and, sort of close to the outskirts of Minehelm. So locals are getting nervous about these brigands, but the Green Cloaks, who are the Cloaks, law enforcement that deal kind of with the countryside, the Green Cloaks are doing, as Captain Galloway puts it, fuck all, since the poor sods don't pay taxes. These the people in the camp, so it's kind of, leave them to it, better for the higher ups and the people that pay their salaries if, there's not so many poor people clinging to the walls of the city trying to get in. So Captain and your sergeant have basically explained that, they'd like you're kind of as much as they'd hate to admit it, maybe the most, if not the most capable squad, the most, perhaps the most powerful, you've got some magic, and they essentially want you to head for just outside to Camp Carbuncle, your first mission outside the walls, and to see what you can find out about who these brigands are, where they're coming from, what can be done to drive them out. And I'm curious that there is a middleman in the office, right before Captain Galloway has come out to explain this to you. So that has been his briefing. And you are, if you have any questions for the captain, then speak your mind.
Oh my God, Phone is doing the Sam Riegel.
I'm doing the what?
The giant cup.
It's the same size as my head.
Now it's going to get bigger every character.
Yeah, nice.
I love my giant mug that holds a whole teapot. It's awesome.
Bubba keg. That's what we call them here.
So,
yeah.
Durrell says to Captain Galloway, so you want us to go out there and sort of find out who these thugs are, where they're coming from, and what can be done to get them out. But, what if we turn up there and kill a bunch of them? Is that mission done too? Or we got to go a little bit further than that?
Well, if that's all that there are, then, if you kill 8 of them, and there were only 8 of them,
I guess, yeah.
Then that's mission accomplished, but I'm not sure. There seems to be a fair number of them.
If we're
need to know
really
where
the
they're
best,
coming from.
If we're really the best squad, can we get paid twice or double pay? I think that would only be fair.
And I expect Watson to get his pay too, right? That's fair.
This is like looking, and it's like, I don't. And sees this little vial with
I'm in my little
wings
flying
floating.
flask.
Like,
I mean, while we're
pay
asking.
the cutlery.
Yeah, while Andy's asking.
I don't pay the crockery. Is it? Look, well, if you'll get the usual, severance pay to your family on your death. There's usually a hefty sum. So, in some ways, it's hazard pay. He says, but hey, look, anything you might find, on these blokes, if maybe we could, look the other way. I mean, bring it in for inspection, but one of them's got a nice fancy sword or something, or
But we never find anything like that.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure you don't.
Andy's going to just go back.
New.
Andy's going to go back to quietly standing towards the wall at the back of the group and saying no more.
He just kind of, he's like, You don't want me asking questions, recruit. Look, we're stretched. You know that we can't. It's not like we can muster up all the brown cloaks and send them marching through Carbuncle and chase these folks off. But if I would, I could. But we're tight, and you know, God's help me. I think you've probably got the best chance of running them off.
So
that's a scary thought.
Are we supposed to be
Certainly
discreet,
is.
or are we supposed to be not discreet?
That I will leave to your discretion.
I'm gonna like interrupt right there and be like, he's sending us. I don't think discretion is ever on the cards when he sends us. And I think he's well aware of that.
No. Anyway, I think wear your cloaks. It's hard to tell. Some, you know how it is. Some of those poor folks might react well to it. They might react poorly to the presence of cloaks, but yeah, use your judgment. And he kind of looks at Dora a little bit, like, you know, use, you know, what, you know, however you think it will play. But as always, priority here is keeping people safe. And look, at the very least, even just maybe running some of them off. Who knows? They mightn't be all that tough. Sight of some cloaks, spook them. They might fuck off. But we can't be sure. Truth is, apparently, word is that they're giving the middlemen trouble, and we know they ain't fighters, but you know, they ain't, you know, they're not dancers, so you know they might be a bit of trouble. So be cautious.
Andy's going to throw a look Pouch's way, but say nothing. Like kind of like a slightly raised eyebrow, and then say nothing more.
Durrell says to Captain Galloway, I think it speaks volumes to your character that you're sending some of us out there, and whoever's in charge of the Green Cloaks does nothing. We'll do what we can.
Yeah. Well, you know, I always say round here, shit don't get done without the shit shovelers. So everything's left to us, better or worse. But we can hold our heads up. Well, if you need anything, as usual, you know, get yourselves to Quartermaster. Make sure you geared up. Got your supplies. And, well, best of luck.
All right.
Any information on, like, someone specific that we should be looking for? Like, who's higher up?
Well,
Anything
something
to
was
look out
mentioned.
for?
There's
Surely
someone
you've heard
mentioned
rumor.
something. Well, from what we can gather, there's, you know, usual lot of, you know, odd cases and thugs, but one of them that's been wandering around, you know, extorting these people. He's got some kind of funny looking helmet with, like, the visor's got, you know, these like spikes or something, so they say. But no, apart from that, he looks as close to a ringleader as we've had word of. But things are pretty tight-lipped around there. Although sources do say that seems they're coming from somewhere off, away from the city, and that whoever's in charge hasn't been coming to the camp.
Where was the last incident that took place? The last beating? The last...
Well, they're always hanging around, hassling people, collecting dues, protection racket. But the last
generally
big incident. Sorry, Boyd.
Just keep an eye out in general.
Well, yeah, we need someone actually on the ground because I'm getting this secondhand, rumors, hearsay. But well, yesterday, 2 men were killed who tried to stand up for themselves. Had enough, apparently, and got themselves killed over it.
Killed for standing up to the man. Let's go take these guys out.
We are the man.
Well, that's an interesting thing. Maybe these people have next of kin or wives or husbands left. Maybe they would be willing to speak to us, given their loss. Aye, all right. That's something to go.
Well, as I say, best of luck, Cloaks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Captain.
And he turns away. The sergeant stays. Sergeant Leia Stein is staying there, and she's kind of.
Andy's already halfway out the door, but if the sergeant's about to speak, she'll probably.
No,
stop.
she's not. She's just. The captain is kind of gone, but she's. She kind of starts moving towards the door. And she's kind of like, anything you need, any other questions, anything else before you strike out?
Well, I'm going to go to the armorer, so unless there's something else.
Says, no, she's like, but any questions, she's like, I'll be in my quarters, so.
Can I just wait to see if there's a moment where I can talk to the captain without the others around?
Captain? Yeah, well, I mean, you can wait around and see if and when he emerges from the office.
I'm more like in the moment, like just a quick, hey, catch him before he walks back in the door.
Sorry. I mean, we want to try and catch him before he goes back inside?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're sort of going to, do you call out to him? Do you sort of step towards him and,
Yeah, I'll step towards him.
Yeah, and he kind of, as Captain Galloway is, very much still a man on edge with his, reflexes, even for his age, tightened. So when you sort of get in his, near him from where he kind of very instinctively, turns, he knows you're approaching. Yeah. He's the... Yes?
So I was wondering if there was any news of an elf being attacked within the city.
Well, how recently?
Pretty recently, probably the last week or two.
We had there was a beating down at the Copper Kettle. I believe an elf got injured. He was all right. I remember hearing something from the Red Cloaks about someone stabbed an elven woman. But I'm not really sure of details. But you could.
Did either of those incidents involve the loss of their necklace?
Oh, what did I remember hearing? Well, I mean, these were in the drains, so Shenry necklace is a hard thing to come by in the drains. People are desperate enough, they pawn them off, they get nicked. you know, doesn't do well to wear something shiny about your neck down here.
Very, very true.
He's like, but he's like, well, go to. Sorry, I'm trying to think of this. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember this guy's name. Check my notes. But yeah, he says like, well, he's like, I'm not really sure, but you could talk to Larch. He's not in. I think he's up city, but you know, you might check the records. He says like, no, sorry. He's like, I've got business, Cloak. And he's
yes, of course.
Larch. Winston Larch is a special officer. He is the head scribe, and technically he's assistant to the Commander Bill Sharp, the old you know, sort of nearly dead, one-eyed commander. He's kind of his, you know, kind of his dog's body, you know. But he's also the head scribe, so he mostly stays in his office, which is adjacent to the commander's office. I mean, you would have all had dealings with him. He's about early 30s, human man, very dark brown hair, short and neat, and a thin, a very sort of razor thin, upturned nose. Mostly kind of keeps to himself, you know, bookish and likes to be left alone.
Yeah.
You could check his offices to see he's there, but captains seem to think he was away. But
I'll go try my luck anyway. Maybe I get lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, so while Pouches is heading to the scribe, is anyone else doing anything in particular? Andy's going to the armorer.
Yep.
The armorer, is Delphine Asta, half-elf woman. Again, about late 30s. She's slender with very kind of ropey muscle, you know, beneath her tunic. Long auburn hair tied. It's very long when it's down, but she ties it up into those I'm not sure the name, but the plaited buns, you know, kind of, you know, Leia milkmaid style, whatever those are called, the the plaited buns. So she plaits it and ties it up, obviously, when she's working or when she's fighting. But yeah, she is definitely there working away. But if I don't know if Jorel or Patri are doing anything particular.
No, I'll probably just head with Andy.
Cool.
I want to, before we go on the mission, I want to prepare some of my an elixir and fill the jug and that kind of stuff. But
Totally,
I don't know if should do that now or wait till we're.
No, you can do that now. We can, you know, if you want to Patri.
Well, I think I want to chat with the group before we all disperse and suggest, see what they think about why don't I? Because I think with one of my elixirs, I can do a transformation potion. We could kind of, once we get in there, buddy with them, make us look like one of them, and then I can bring my jug, fill it with a really strong, good, rock gnome wine, get them drunk, and see if we can get them to spill some secrets to us.
We could also try and find a handful who, you know, have a bit of money or something on them and who want passage through, and arrest them and bring them through with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then lose them once we're through. And we'll have their money and stuff. And they'll be in Minehelm. So everyone wins. Right? And they'll probably tell us stuff too, you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a smuggler for hire tonight. Sorry.
But it's not for hire. It's for information that would help us with the mission.
But why would they have any information? They're just getting into the city. We need to find the people outside the city that are... Smuggling has nothing to do with this. Did you not listen?
Oh, who the people are who they were planning to give their money and stuff to get through. And then if we took the money and stuff and got them through instead, they'd tell us who they were going to give it to. See? Yeah, smart. Plus, I don't know how much a passage into the city's worth these days, but it's got to be like something.
And when in doubt, alcohol makes everyone talk. I'll fill my... Can I just fill it? I fill it once a day or something.
I'm lost. But basically, if you can point me towards the people that you know, liaise this stuff with the people trying to get in, those are the people we're trying to get. We're not trying to get the smugglers, right? It's the people who are outside, putting them in contact with the middlemen smugglers. Mm-hmm. They're the people who are the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much clear. There's like the usual crack in the camp is there's like, you know, there's people who are trying to get into the city, and oftentimes the smugglers are getting them in, you know, usually at extortionate prices, but still less than the tolls. But then, you know, it's dodgy. But then separate to this, there have been these brigands which have been have been hassling people in the camp, have been asking for like protection money, basically, and bullying people, and also clashing with the smugglers, basically.
Aye, so if we find some random people and smuggle them in, it's not going to help us. We need to find those people.
Well, because the smugglers that smuggle the people into the city are the middlemen that Pouches and Andy like work with, like that Brianna Belmont woman that was in the office and stuff. So
the people we're looking for are not associated with them. They're causing trouble for them.
Yeah, they're clashing with the smugglers, and I think the smugglers are sort of, there's a certain amount of them being tolerated. You know, it's not violent crime. There's bigger things we have to worry about, and you know, budget's tight and we don't have enough recruits. But these people, again, you see, people in the camp have been killed, and not just from, you know, starvation. So, you know, now people are concerned. Oh no, someone's been murdered. You know, but yeah. So it's whoever these brigands are that have been causing trouble, and it's kind of making the local populace nervous.
So it sounds like the smugglers might be a good place to start in terms of at least getting information. If you guys have your connections, what do you think?
Aye, I think we just get down there and start asking.
Connections? No, I wouldn't know any smugglers.
I mean, like, I know some smugglers, like, but you know, probably not the ones out there. Okay. I think we should get going, but before we get going, I really need to see if I can talk Delphine into like giving me some stuff.
Good luck, yeah. So, while Andy and I think Doral is accompanying Andy, or if anyone else wants to go see the armorer, if Pouches is going to see the scribe at this like same time, or is going to go, you know, if everyone's going to go, but at the smithy and the arsenal, such as it is in the barracks. Yeah, Delphine is there. She is. You see her. There's racks with you know, armor, simple leather armor, and she's like inspecting buckles, and you can see her like tightening buckles and, you know, hanging things on racks and just inspecting things. You can also see there is you know, someone with her who's actually you've seen them do this before. They're rolling a barrel back and forth, big barrel back and forth across the floor, which is actually something they do to clean chainmail, where it's like fill a barrel with sand and then you basically like roll it back and forth. It's like grit, you know, so it's kind of like to try and basically, you know, buff the chainmail. Yeah, so she's has her back to you, you know, she's hanging stuff. There's a sound of hammer clanging. It's quite noisy in here.
Are there any like daggers on a table that would be easily lifted?
I mean, easily lifted with a stealth check, sure, or sleight of hand.
Well,
I suppose sleight of hand because no one's gonna. Yeah, because you're gonna have to. It's not a problem to get to the table, but obviously, well, you could. I mean, you can go stealth to see if you get to the table, basically, with nobody looking and nobody noticing you've come into the room, and then make a sleight of hand to pocket the dagger. But obviously, that would be much easier if nobody knows you've come into the room. But if you do just stroll into the room and possibly somebody sees you, you could still try and, sneakily steal a dagger, but obviously the DC would be a bit higher.
So, despite the fact that Durrell is coming right behind me and is probably not going to stealth his way into the room, Andy by default will try to slip into the room. Like, that's how she enters rooms, quietly.
Yeah.
So, I presume that will be a stealth followed by a sleight of hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, dice. Love me today. One of these times it has to work, right? So that is my stealth.
Yeah, as far as you're sure, no one has noticed you, come into the room. You're already in and over by there is a
score, and then
a table with
I'm going to try and pocket a dagger.
Yeah.
Pocket all three?
As Doral comes in, like Doral doesn't, unless Doral wants to roll perception to see if he beats a 23, but
Yeah, I've got a passive perception of 11. Let's go with that. Not really paying attention.
Yeah. So yeah, you come in and slip the dagger. Doral comes in and doesn't seem to have noticed Doral either because it's, as I said, it's quite noisy. It's quite noisy in there. Not necessarily going to hear footsteps. But she finishes, hanging one piece of armor, and she turns to grab another. Sees Doral and is kind of looking at him questioningly, kind of like.
I look at her questioningly, and then I'm like, sorry, I'm coming in here with Andy, who was supposed to be...
She says, he's like, yeah, I must say, I don't think I've ever actually seen you in here, Doral, considering you just punch things.
I was just coming for a stroll with my friend, but she seems to have slipped away.
And Andy will just appear kind of beside Delphine, brightly, kind of creepily probably, because she's not normally a smiley, happy greeter of people, but she'd be like, hi, Delphine.
Ah!
Whoa.
What do you want?
Swear to God, I'm going to put a fucking bell on you.
No bells. Ember doesn't want bells either.
Yeah, she's stacking things and she's, yeah.
I need arrows.
She's happy to see Ember, but she's not happy to see you.
And as I say, I need arrows. I'm going to pull out, because I do still have some armor-piercing arrows in my possession. So, like, I'm looking for arrows, but if you have any like this, and I'm going to, like, hold one of my armor-piercing ones out to her.
She's looking at it. She's like, no. She's like, where are you going? What do you need it for?
Camp smuggling, or camp. Can I? What is it? Camp Carbuncle. Camp.
Yeah.
You know where the people smuggling thing? Yeah, we're going there. So it is official Browncoat's business. One of the dudes apparently has a mad hat.
Give me a persuasion check.
Possibly the creepy smile is working against Andy. That's a 3.
Yeah, so it's like because You can have as many regular arrows as you want in the barrel. Don't take them all. It's just like, I might have one like this in the back. If I give you that one, will you fuck off?
I will, but if I give you one of these arrowheads, will you make it into an arrow that I can pick up later? So I take one now, and I'll give you an arrowhead, and then you could make me another one.
You have like a broken.
I have just
the arrowhead.
Yeah, just the arrowhead.
Yes. Just that one, is it? It's just like
yeah.
She says, fine. She says, yeah, okay. I'll put this on an arrow. She says, if you're going out, she says, I'm backed up, but I'll stick it on an arrow and you can have it tomorrow.
And I can have the other one now.
I'll get
though?
one of the boys to do it. It's like, she's, Dale, he calls over. It's kind of, young lad who'd been rolling the barrel back and forth. He's sweating, drenched his hair, is plastered to his face. He's looking at her. She's like, she kind of leans over and says, whispers something to him, and he's like, okay. He runs off kind of into the, into the back, into the stores. Just waiting there. She just kind of goes back then and starts working on stuff. And then, a few minutes later, this kid runs out with one of these arrows. Not exactly the same, kind of arrowhead, but, it looks a little bit different. It actually looks a bit nicer than the one that you found. The other one that you had was a bit cruder. This is sort of better design. If nothing else, Delphin is known as a bit of a perfectionist. So, it's this completely clean lines. And he holds it up. She takes it and hands it to you, kind of, fletching, pointed towards you. So, is there anything else? And she's looks at you, Doral, and she's like, anything? Doral, does he have light armor on, or is he completely unarmored?
Yeah, he's unarmored. Yeah, it's just
yeah,
tank top.
Yeah, she's kind of looking a bit like, yeah, it's like,
I'm good. Cheers.
Okay, and she's looking at you, and she kind of like looks at some of them. And you see, she just sort of like reaches for you and just kind of like goes for your armpits, and you realize she starts like tightening buckles and like fastening things, and like your arm was like on ever so slightly wrong, and it's been driving her insane, like the whole conversation.
Andy will hold still for that, just because
she has
that deer in headlights moment of like, oh god, okay, as if someone's hugging her or something, and she's like, oh.
Yeah, Delphin is again. Yeah, it's like kind of tall, slender, not like very tall, but she's tall, slender. It's just sort of probably like a half a foot taller than you. Yeah, and then she's all right. Now go on.
Fucking off.
I guess I did have one thing. Do you have any ball bearings about the place?
Fucking. And she's like, she just kind of goes off to like a high shelf and pulls down this big dusty box and flicks the catch on it, and it kicks up dust, and it's like looking, you see her kind of lift some random bits and pieces. There's like a doorknob in there, and some metal, and she digs in like like a handful of like in this little sack. It looks like basically I'm gonna see. Yeah, it's pretty much full. It's more or less like a full bag of you know,
Awesome.
I think it's 1,000 ball bearings in like a single use bag. So it's pretty much full. So it would do the job. You know, I was going to see me just rolling to see if it was like half full. That, you know, the DC might be a bit lower because it's not going to cover as much ground. But she's just said, she's like, okay, here. She's like, I don't like you out there not wearing any steel. So, you know,
I know how to
feel
talk.
better.
No need that pish. You just get out of the way. It's pretty simple. I don't know why these Egypts run about and that stuff. It's useless.
Get out.
I just leave with my tails between my legs.
Yeah. It's like shoves the ball bearings at you. And then she gets back to her work. While Pouches is you heading for the scribes. So just give me a really quick investigation check, please, Kyle.
Oh, investigation.
I know you're terrible
That's
at
a
it.
skill. I really struggle with it. Come on, roll 20, be nice. 29. Natural 20 for 29.
So
starting big tonight.
Larch isn't he's not in his office. He's not you've been asking a couple people, you know, you asked like a couple other scribes, even the recruits and stuff, and it's like he's gone, you know, he's gone up the city, you know, he's so, you know, out of the drains, he's gone, you know, the day, and you're like, you know, all right, but there's like, I don't know, it just something, you're not sure, something's bothering you, and then just something sort of clicks that kind of like, where would I be if I didn't want to? Because nobody really had like a good story for why he was gone up the city, and you actually had two like slightly conflicting accounts. You're like, where would I be if I was making up an excuse and I didn't want anyone to bother me? And in the very small library in the barracks, which nobody goes into, you know, except for Larch, like in a corner with a candle is Larch reading a book. And like when you know, because you walk in and you sort of like hear a scrape of a chair, and then like very suddenly like just it's too silent, you know, and then you can kind of see him through a crack in the stacks.
I'm just gonna like very quietly close the door and then like approach him.
Like, yes.
I say, this seems to be a new definition of going up city, but can't blame you.
It's like, well, didn't have much on today, and well, Commander's going to be asleep for a few hours, so what is it?
I need some information, and if you can find it for me, I will be sure not to mention that I saw you in here.
All right, what is it?
I know an elf in the city recently lost a Shanri necklace in an attack. I need to find this elf.
Okay. Elf attack, lost the Shanri necklace. She's like, when was this?
This would have been in the last few weeks. Do I actually have a time frame?
That would be like an estimation. I think that was about the time frame in which like Lord Puddle found it, so assuming that it was like a recent incident. He's like, right, well, I don't want to be seen, so he says, go to my office. There's a stack of ledgers, he points out directions. So like this shelf, get this ledger or these 2 ledgers and, bring them here, which, I'm assuming you do,
Yeah, I'll follow his instructions.
And he's there for a while and, he's flicking and getting frustrated because it's taken quite a while. But these are records from not just like the drains, but all over it, sort of like cross-referenced, brown cloak letters. It's sort of in lieu of like a computer system, like a database. It's kind of like all the scribes have records from all the different barracks where, periodically, whether it's every week or whatever, someone comes in and they basically make, they copy over each other's reports. And he pulls up, he's like, just kind of flicks, he's like, this could be it. Something similar. It's like, up in Highborn Hill, looks like about a month ago. Says there was altercation. Someone who had been observing from a window, some shut-in, and they saw an elven man. It was quite dark out, not much of a physical description, tall, dark hair. He had a necklace going in, and it seems that several hours later he was ejected from the premises. There was he was bleeding. He looked in a hurry, and the necklace was no longer around his neck. The observer made note of it because it was dark, but it was. She said that the moon was catching off of the necklace, so she'd seen it, and her husband has dealt with the elven ambassadors, so she recognized the necklace for what it was. This was about a month ago. It was at an estate, which I can't find the name of in my notes, which I will fill you in on, which I will get back to you, because I have lost what that is in my notes. My apologies.
No indication of who this person was, right?
Well, not that she was aware of, but we hadn't had any other reports. It seemed like a fairly minor incident. From what I can tell, the brown cloaks up there went up, and eyeborns, they were given the brush off. It seems like the residents did have silver cloaks posted, so maybe, I don't know, maybe if you could get in touch, they could tell you more. What's this about?
Just some personal business.
It's like, yeah.
Does Petrie know anything about what he's doing? I feel like he'd probably, if he has any idea that this is the information he was getting, he'd be lurking and kind of trying to listen in and gather as much info on the necklace and stuff.
Well, yeah, if you want to try and trail, obviously without being detected, if you're trailing, kind of trailing pouches.
Yeah, let's say that's what he's been doing, because that's right. Totally interests Petrie.
Because if Petrie, you give me a stealth, and pouches, you give me perception, just as you're going about your business. Well, I mean, yeah, I assume. I mean, it's fair enough if you had heard him.
I mean, he's not trying to be nefarious. Like, if he gets seen, he would fully just jump in front and say, "Hi, following you." But he's very interested in hearing what Peaches has to say and learn.
Yeah, hang on 1 second.
Yeah, I think I might just spot for Petrie.
Hang on, why is it doing that? Oh, is it because why is it stealth at disadvantage?
There's one thing with Petrie, like he's an elf, but he doesn't have a necklace. He doesn't wear one of the elf things. Yeah.
Hang on, sorry. I think
he probably has a scar though, where it got singed into his skin or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, you do notice that Petrie seems pretty interested in where you're going. Like, oh, necklace, heard you, well, maybe saying to the captain. So, I mean, it's up to you how you're dealing with Petrie before you go kind of off to the library or looking for the scribe.
I would have probably just been like, if she'd like followed me to the library, I would have been like, I'm just doing some research and like blown her off.
Petrie's a little scrawny, scarred up little dude. But he will, if you're trying to evade him, he'll just try and buddy with you, I guess.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been like mean about it, just been like, oh, I'm just going to grab something. Could you maybe go and do this and just like make up an errand?
I was like, no, it's okay. I can help you. I might be able to offer some insight into what you're given my background, if you need any help.
Just looking into a family matter. I'm looking into a family matter, but if you want to come along, you're welcome to.
Oh, great.
This is like before I found him in the library.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just be quietly following, observing.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I mean, family. He says, well, he's like, well, I mean, I won't ask any questions if you don't ask any more questions.
My lips are sealed. Your secret is safe with me and Petrie, right?
I don't even remember what was the secret.
Yeah, it's just Petrie's just really small. So he didn't.
Petrie won't say anything. He'll remember it. I, on the other hand, don't remember what he said.
That this guy's hiding from his work in the library.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is okay. Well, best of luck. Holds up his book and,
I'll take the 2 ledgers back to his office for him. And...
Thank you. He's relieved to be left alone once more with his book. Sorry.
Yeah. So then I'll go and find the others to see about heading out.
Yeah, because it would still be, morning, because you would have been kind of called in, for briefing and stuff. So it's still early. But yeah, obviously you guys are gathered up, in your barracks and whatever else you're doing, and just anything else that you'd like to do before setting off outside the city walls.
For the right tool for the job thing, is that can I do something preemptively, not knowing exactly what the tool would be, or do I have to specify exactly what the tool is because it takes an hour to do? Just wondering if there's a way to utilize that. I don't think we really have enough info yet, do we, on what could be helpful in terms of a tool?
No, because it would take, like an hour. You would have to, I suppose, like make it before you head off, just to be like, what you might think might be. And so I think you've got Thieves tool. You've got thieves tools and alchemist supplies on you.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's part of why the stealth is a disadvantage. I think I added too much to Patrice's sheet because of the low strength. I think he's actually like weighed down by the some of the stuff because like they did tools things. But I don't know, Patrice. Obviously, you could ask if I don't know if anyone else has any like suggestions as to what tools could come in handy.
Yeah, I'll save this for once we have more info. Once we get going.
Cool.
She's eager to go and see who these people might be.
Yeah. So if is everyone
Good to go.
cool?
Andy is probably waiting by the wherever we normally exit from, sorting through, like stowing her arrows and making them like line up in her arrow store the way she wants them to.
Sure. And then let me
all
just grab your tokens from the body. Oh. Nope. Oh, come on. Sorry about this. It's being weird. Sorry, I'm just shrinking Watson to size.
My little snitch.
Okay. He has a slightly more appropriate token this time. It's the closest thing I could get was the little floating cauldron instead of a floating test tube. I'm gonna copy you guys in. Sorry, I'm just waiting for your tokens to appear, but in the meantime, you should be appearing, and I'll just move you. So I think you guys, you can see. Sorry, I'll just drag you back to the bottom. Sorry. No, I don't know if you can see your tokens at the very bottom of the map.
Yep.
Okay. So there are there's a like tons of people all around, but I didn't want to put 300 tokens, like 300 little, nondescript camp dweller things. And as people are encountered that might be of more significance, I'll pull up a token.
Very disappointed, Ben.
So yeah, you arrive in Camp Carbuncle. The camp is overrun, mucky, and miserable. There's tents like clinging to the city wall like barnacles, and green slime stone is slick from a recent rain. So it was raining as you left the city, and it's been kind of raining on and off all morning. And there are, as I say, it's overrun with people. There are children in ragged clothes, sort of running back and forth, playing in the mud. There's some campfires going, and tents just strung up here and there wherever people have space, with a sort of a large common area thorough through running through. And there are also some very few animals also running about the camp. Some tents look newer than others, more recent arrivals, and some, especially ones closer to the walls, seem to have been there a long time. But this is Camp Carbuncle's stretches out ahead of you.
This here is the wall, is it, of the city?
Yeah, and as you see, I mean, it stretches on, north and east and south. This is just kind of emerged out the city gates, not too far from where you are now. few hundred feet maybe, but this is, it stretches in many directions, and that's the city wall, along a section of the city wall along the left.
Andy is going to have moved over to the other side of the group. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60. She's how far away from the wall? She may be about to do something pretty stupid. Yes. Okay, cool. Oh, that's it.
Is this over here?
So if you're kind of making your way through, you'll notice as you walk up along, in some of the tents over here that you can see, like in this area, just the first kind of cluster of tents to the left, as well as just, there's people around a cook fire. It's just kind of just bubbling away. There's a group of people, sort of all eyes on a halfling woman, who is... Sorry, I just get my... there's a halfling woman, seems to be giving some sort of a speech, or she's like giving, directions as she's gesticulating her arms, and there's, other people are there in really very dirty, ratty, but they look like costumes. And there's a tent which is like a sort of very faded stripes, and there's like a couple of kids and an old woman, and then a sort of a younger man, or kind of like watching this just like a performance that these are doing. And then over here, you can see pouches, it looks like, and there's a couple of people standing around, and there's broken flasks and bits of pottery and all this, but it kind of looks like Doral would recognize it immediately. It's a ring. And Andy, as your will you give me a perception check, and actually you two pouches?
Perception.
Or actually, what's your passive?
12.
Passive is 14.
Okay, so you'd actually,
I rolled
with
18.
with your roll, pouches, and your passive, you actually notice it's just sort of standing against this tent,
Like a
with her
lie.
arms fold, and she's chatting. Yeah, she's chatting to somebody, and then she's like, she doesn't see you, pouches, because she's facing north. She sees you, Andy, and you kind of clock her, and it is someone that you recognize from the smuggler's cave in low tide. This is Yara Galt. There's a half-orc woman that was there fighting against with the troglodytes, and you guys kind of let her go, and it was just like, let's sort of go our separate ways and say no more about it. But she is definitely one of the middlemen, and she's a smuggler, and she looks at you and kind of gives you a subtle nod.
Is she the person that had a spider and I killed it? She had a spider.
No, this is the one. Do you remember with like down along the beaches in low tide, you went into the cave, and there was all those troglodytes, and then there was the smugglers on the kind of the river in the cave, and then her and her men had been kidnapped and were getting eaten by the troglodytes, and she was like, if you break, untie me and I'll help you kill them. And then afterwards it was decided that, we all fought together, and there's not necessarily, maybe we don't need to bring you in.
Yeah, I'm remembering now.
I'm going to step up next to her, and I'm just going to be like, good to see you again. How about you help me out here? And that's what I'm going to just say to her.
Meanwhile, Andy doesn't approach, because Andy has very deliberately drifted to what she reckons is about 100 feet away from the walls. And when she gets there, she's going to try and pull her bracelet off.
Yeah, go for it.
A strength or
well, yeah, you can. Yeah, if you really want to go for it, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think she'd probably try and give it a good yank to get it off. Yeah. Strength. Where are you? Strength.
Can I help? Am I there with you? Can I cast a grease spell on your finger?
Want to be.
I'm not sure this is going to go well for me. I got a 15 on the strength.
So, you give it a good yank, and then unfortunately, rolling high on that strength check was kind of bad because it does
guidance?
What it normally.
Make it any worse?
Well, she would have had to have told you that she was going to try to do it, because you'd have to do it beforehand. So you go to yank it off, and it does what it always does, which is shrinks, and you take 1 point of damage as it cuts into your skin. And
some colorful curses drift over to you from the direction that Andy is.
Yeah, and Yara next to Pouch, she's about to speak to Pouch, and she looks at Andy, and so does there's actually a guy over here who is looking over at the tent, and he was been fixing stuff onto the tent, and he kind of looks up, and he doesn't know what's going on. But
Pouches will, or not Pouches, Andy will come over towards where Pouches is talking to the lady, rubbing her wrist and looking very annoyed.
Yeah, she's like, well, help you out with what? What might that be?
Well, I think your boss may have sent us down here to deal with your competitor.
Oh, that. Yeah, she says, well, normally I'm not, out in the open, but, me and some of my boys are the only, some of the only ones of that lot that can, throw a punch. So I've been here as muscle, sent here yesterday, but I'm trying to get a grip on the situation myself.
Well, if you could just point us in the right direction, we'll take care of the problem for you, and you can go back to wherever you were before.
What's passage to the city going for these days?
Why, are you trying to sneak back in?
You never know. Sometimes
they kick you out.
Needs much.
Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, it depends, Probably,
yeah. What
2 gold pieces per person.
The discount for mates rates, right?
Mm-hmm. She's like, well, look, if you're looking for these fearless fellows, as they call themselves, she says, well, I mean, there's none around now. They, they came in, they did their spiel, picking on whoever, whoever they want. And I haven't seen them today, but we've got everyone shaken. Done a few of my boys in, but I'm mostly just keeping an eye. Says, I think. Now, I can't be certain. And she's kind of nods to the guy at the ring across the way. Says, I think he might know something. I've seen him talking to a few of them, when they get pissed. They're watching the fights. They certainly ain't talking to me. And she's kind of looking, and she's like, and to be honest, none, looking around at the camp dwellers, and she's like, they're not too fond of talking to me either. But he might know.
Do you think there's any chance that Yara that they're connected to the butchers or something, or these some kind of a new group trying to get themselves a name?
Not a chance. Says it's butchers messing with us would be bad for business. No, they've come out of the countryside somewhere. Never seen them before. Mercenaries, it looks like, but whether they're working for someone or I'd guess solo, they just seem to be causing havoc, looking for loot, you know, looking for a power trip. Rough. I mean, some of them are pretty well outfitted. But
What do you mean? Armor, swords,
Yeah.
proper martial stuff?
pretty organized.
Right.
They're not your usual bandits, you know. Bandits wouldn't stick around, not when even a whiff of trouble, but
Well,
they seem to be coming from somewhere. Usually see them coming in from northeast direction.
we have a name now. We didn't have that before. Maybe we can help you. Apparently, the one that leads them runs about in a stupid helmet, a visor with spiky bits on it. If you see someone like that, make sure and tell us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I seen that prick yesterday.
Oh, right.
I don't know if he's... Should be told. I think I heard him talking to someone else, you know, one of his lackeys, and he was talking something about boss. Sounded like someone higher up than him.
Okay, that's...
But as I say, I try and keep my distance. You know, I ain't got the boys. You know, I could take, you know, maybe two of them, but no chance if I get outnumbered. So
maybe somebody's looking to set up a new faction if they're organized.
Do they usually come into town every day? Or are they like a couple of days you don't see them?
I mean, there's been a couple days, you know, you mightn't see them, but they're keeping up a presence. They'll usually be here, you know, someone will be here once a day.
Have they been in yet?
Nope.
Well then, looks like we're sticking around.
Guys, do you think we should ditch the
Well,
cloaks?
be my guest.
No, I'm not ditching the cloak. No.
Well, if we want to blend and maybe spot them coming, walking around in fucking I'm a guard advertising.
Do we see what they look like? Because I think I prepared the transformation elixir. So one of us could look like them if we figure out who they are.
Mm-hmm. She says, well, you know, I mean, I don't have a drawing of one of them or nothing, but I mean, once they arrive, you know, get a good look at them, or one of them at least. So she's like, I don't, she's looking at Patri, and she's like, he's new.
Yeah, new. Not, I guess they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was looking at Watson is like floating around, you know. And she's like, look at it. She's like, you know, it was a little salute.
I'm just thinking,
do they look like they're all buddy? You like the crew chatting? Does it look
I mean,
like...
reasonably, like, yeah.
Okay.
I'll offer. Probably
I'll offer a sip of my jug of wine.
Do
you kind of give it a sniff as it takes a sip, and she's like, thank you. I haven't had any good stuff for a couple of days. It's not exactly wine country around here, you know.
Well, you have excellent taste.
So I've got a class feature that might be useful here.
Sure.
It is...
I
have caroused in a settlement for more than 8 hours. I know all public locations in the city as if I was born and raised there and cannot be lost by magical means in the city. But would that mean, do I recognize this person near the ring by any chance? Do I know what this place is called, or do I have any connection to it in any way?
He might look. You know, give me a history check, because he might.
Sure.
He looks maybe vaguely familiar.
I have a -1, so that was a pretty good roll.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you have seen this guy before. You can't remember his last name, but his name is Judd. It looked like he used to kind of promote some fights in the city, and you think that he might have gone in kind of like, you know, in bed with the butchers, or he might have like pissed them off. You know, this was years ago. This is when you were starting out, so it's looking like maybe he's kind of down on his luck a bit, you know. And he seems to be, you know, obviously he's set up a ring, you know, here. There's, you know, kind of one bit of entertainment for people. And, you know, because as well as boxing, he would also run dog fights and like cock fights and, you know, whatever really was going. And he's a bit of an arsehole. But he is, he looks a bit, you know, worse for wear. And yeah, you hadn't seen him really around for like a few years, so probably down on his luck. But he's like a fight promoter. He's not a fighter himself, but he's like an organizer, promoter. Yeah.
I said to the others, I think I might know your man over there from a long time ago. Maybe we have a little chat with him. Maybe he's seen these fellows. Maybe they've came here to watch fights. Maybe I could put on a fight and it would entice them to come.
Seems like, yeah, give them something to draw their attention and bring them to us.
Yeah. Nothing also means we can track them back to where their hideout is and take a lot of them out.
As you're talking as well, some people have passed, all people are passing all the time, but you've noticed people stealing glances, some full on, you know, staring at you, and kids kind of looking at you, whispering. Some look, you know, nervous, some look, you know, indignant, you know, some look indifferent and a bit puzzled, but clearly noting the presence of Cloaks in the camp for one reason or another.
All right, well, I think I head up north towards, what did you call this person again? Judd?
Judd, yeah. His name is Judd Londred, but it's, I think it says it on the thing.
Do the kids look like street urchin type kids, or do they look like they probably have parents around the place? Or can I tell?
Some look a bit wilder than others, but you know, they're all running around and kind of playing together, and it's possible. I mean, you've seen a couple, you know, as they were sort of playing close to you once or twice. A mother or father, you know, kind of comes over and, you know, pulls them away or kind of shoos them away from the law enforcement. Yeah, just, you know, for you know, whether they're actually doing anything wrong or maybe just for fear of getting picked up by the Cloaks. But and some, I mean, you know, it depends. Maybe an insight check on some of them to see if there's.
I'm gonna, while Durrell is going to talk to the promoter dude, I am gonna kind of wave and try to approach them. Insights for 11.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell. There's a gang of like 7 kids all playing together. I mean, there's a good chance that, I mean, at least one of them is an orphan. But very difficult to tell. You know, everyone here is looks pretty worse for wear. Sorry, actually, just randomly, it's not massively important right now. But can you see, for instance, like Boyd, like under the promoter dude, does he have a visible name tag?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, okay.
No.
I've got a...
Jara did though.
Yeah, Jara has one. Jara
Oh, she did. Oh, weird. Why is that not?
Also, none of our companions have one either, as far as I can see.
No.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I left it off you
Judd
guys.
has
but
one. For
Yeah.
me.
I'm just editing the permissions. So I think you can.
For
Not that it's that important, but
before
I guess I could do it when it's
leave
but...
from Jara, I just say to her, I appreciate all your help in the cave when we were fighting them troglodytes, and I don't know
Yeah. Likewise.
if you need anything, give us a shout.
Yeah. Likewise. Yeah. So, she's like, I better,
I'm sure you can't be seen with the likes of us.
Yeah. Likewise. And she does kind of mosey over this way, a little bit, just kind of to the campfire. It's not going at the moment, but she's chatting to like a couple of people. There's a couple of dudes drinking something. Yeah. What am I?
Then I head up north and try to speak to Judd.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else doing anything in particular? Does that?
I'll try to talk to the kids, but
Yeah. So
I'll follow up north to Judd.
Cool. So the two of them, you're trying to try and talk to the kids. Yeah, I mean, how are you approaching them?
kind of slowly. I'm probably like some of them are probably almost as big as me anyway because I'm small. Trying to appear friendly. I'm not sure how friendly a brown cloak who wears mostly black clothes is going to look approaching them, giving them like a little wave and saying, "Hi, kiddos."
Approaching them like Steve Buscemi, the skateboarder of your show. Yeah, it's like one of them kind of snorts. But I mean, give me a persuasion check.
You said there was 7 kids.
It's about 7 kids. A range of ages, probably from like 8 to maybe like 12.
I'm also pulling. So if there's about 7 kids, I'm going to be like pulling out about 7 coppers.
Okay.
Pocket.
That keeps them interested enough that there's like 1 or 2 of them like look like they're gonna bolt, but then you pull out the coppers, and 2 of them kind of take one of the smaller ones and one of the taller ones kind of take a tentative step towards you, like, what do you want?
So I'm gonna grin at them, and I'm gonna let one coin sort of do the the trick over your knuckles for a second, and then just say,
It's like
looking to find out if any of you guys know anything about the bad guys who've been coming around lately. The ones who are fighting everybody and taking all your stuff.
It's like
there's a coin in it for you.
One of them goes to like say something. He's like, well, they've been, and then like an older kid, they look similar, probably his older brother, is like slaps him on the back of the head. He's like, he's just like, I just said, don't talk to Cloaks. And then it's like, why do you want to know?
Well, we've been sent to talk to them and maybe see if they're going to go away or if they're causing too much trouble. And I figure sometimes adults know the best, but oftentimes it's you little guys running around seeing everything. So if any of you can tell me anything, you can each have a copper.
I want 2 coppers.
I'm close to you, right? I'm going to send Watson over just to like distract the one who was trying to tell the kid not to say anything.
Yeah, sure. He's like, he gets really freaked out. He's like, oh, it's like really like, what is? There's a flapping potion. He's like, oh.
Flask.
Yeah. Someone's like, I want 2 coins. Someone's like, give me a silver. I didn't see nothing. You know?
Well, I don't know. Maybe if I'm feeling super generous because you come up with something really worth my time, I'll consider giving you a silver. Silver's worth a lot, though. You have to have something good.
It's like there's an older girl, maybe like 11. It's kind of like, turns her back and kind of like huddles them all together. He's like,
Turn back, there will be a silver coin doing the traversal over my knuckles.
Right. What would they? She steps forward. This girl, and she's like, one of them's got a big spiky helmet.
Okay. Does it look like? A dog or a bull or a horse or?
This looks like an helmet.
Just a helmet.
With spikes.
Okay.
Spiky mask.
Is he a big guy? Small guy?
Bigger than you.
Well, that's not hard. You're probably bigger than me.
Not far off. She's like, it's bigger than my dad.
Has this guy got a name, or he's just helmet guy?
I don't know his name. I think I heard someone call him Griff.
Griff. Does he come around every day, or is he only here sometimes?
Not every day.
Most days?
But sometimes there's lots of them. Sometimes there's another one. I seen one here. She was scarier than Griff.
She was. What made her scarier? Does she have a helmet too?
No. Griff's loud. She went loud. She's quiet. And my mum says it's always the quiet ones you've got to watch out for. She's all pale, black hair.
She taller than me? She bigger than me too?
Of course.
Wouldn't be hard.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Do they always come with big numbers, or do they sometimes only come 1 or 2?
Sometimes there's only a couple of them, but there's usually a few. So it says they're always over there drinking, watching the fights for that horrible man. He's either got 2 people boxing in there, or he's got 2 poor dogs. Why don't you go in there and stop him?
Stop making the dogs fight. Maybe we will, kid. Maybe we will.
Yeah, except that's not illegal. I asked my dad, and he said it's not.
Doesn't matter. Sometimes it doesn't matter if it's illegal, and sometimes it can be illegal and you can get away with it too. All right. She'll toss the girl the silver coin.
And that's the lesson for today, kids.
Oh, this is killing me. I wish I could hear that shit.
She'll toss she'll toss a copper to all the kids then around the group. Like she's tossing them in the air in the right direction. If the kids catch them, they've got good reflexes and she might clock their faces for another time. But it's up to them to catch.
They catch them. The girl gives her silver piece to a boy that looks like particularly down on his luck. You know, he's like very dirty and he's got, looks like you can see a barest of some kind of like rash or something kind of coming up his neck. She gives the silver piece to him. And it's like, well, you better go do your job then.
All right. And as Andy turns to go,
keep us safe.
She's going to look at the kid that got given the silver and she's going to like eye him up and down and spot the rash and stuff. And she's counting this in her head because she's like, fucking hell, like this is my money. But she's going to throw another silver over and just say, look, if there's any trouble, scream, we're about. And then she's going to walk off. she's going to be like cursing herself for giving away 2 silvers and 7 coppers.
And
She's like,
the older boy that was like Watson was flitting about his head is like keeps looking over his shoulders to make sure Watson's not following him. Watson's just bobbing about.
Good job, Watson.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job.
Little... But yeah, Doral. Sorry. You're going over talking to this dude.
Dude.
He's eyeing you up. He's like, "What do you want?"
Judd, is that any way to speak to an old colleague?
He's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah. How's the old boy?"
Not too well, actually. He died recently.
Oh, bad luck. My condolences. He's like,
Many thanks.
yeah.
Just a quick question, basically. You ever see these boys running about watching the fights? One of them wears like a weird visored helmet, spiky bits on it.
Oh, yeah, trying a bit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough bastard, though. Why? What you want? Have you come to arrest him, have you? You're a cloak now, is it?
I am. Unfortunately. And I show him the rest.
And he's like, well, naughty boy. Well, I might know. Yeah, I might know something, boys get drunk, there's in their cups and they say all sorts of things, the blood's up, run out of fight. But here's the thing, I'm a fair man, so I'm gonna, but I ain't gonna give nothing away for nothing. So got a bit of a problem, right? Had a fight lined up, for in a little bit today, but stupid, useless twat has got himself drunk. Can't wake him up, so I got no one to fight Tank. So using you're a strapping lad. You know the game. Don't want to just toss any old tosser in there. So maybe you get in the ring. You have a scrap with Tank. You give me a fight for all these lovely people around here. Maybe I'll tell you what I know. About these lads.
Well,
he has his accents. They're so good.
Thank you.
I don't just fight for the crack, and I certainly don't fight for information. I need a cut of the gate.
Yeah, what you want? One of the 2 coppers I'm going to make off of these piss poor wankers, yeah. Extortion. Somebody should call the Cloaks. Oh wait, they're already here.
Keep your voice down. Come on now.
Look, all right. Look, I'll chuck a couple of silver your way. You won't go away empty-handed. All right,
All right, that and the information. And could I make a history check on the name Tank?
Yeah, you can.
13.
You're not. You've not. Don't remember this guy Tank. Never heard his name before. They're probably someone this guy's picked up. He's probably got new fighters since he was kind of blacklisted.
I'll figure it out, I suppose. Hi, that all sounds agreeable. All right.
Well, give me an hour or so. I'll get Tank ready. He's in the tent, and we'll sort it out. I've got to feed the dogs. Got to feed the roosters. I've got to get them all ready. But we'll call it an hour. Maybe a bit more whenever you's ready.
Just a knockout, right? Straight up. No funny business.
Oh, sir.
Aye.
Sir, I am damaged. You know, I am. Oh,
Come
my
on.
heart,
I've
my
known you
honor.
for a long time. Quit the bullshit.
Yes, knockout. All right, I'm not. I'm not bloodthirsty or nothing. I'm not a butcher, do I? Yeah, knockout.
Aye, it'll be a knockout, all right.
Yeah, we'll keep it country. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be all cushy. It's all sweet. Don't worry about it. And yeah, I'm a fair man, like I said.
Have you seen me fight lately? Have you heard about it?
I'm a little out of the loop, I must admit.
How do you feel about magic getting involved? Low magic.
Oh, magic! I don't know. I mean, it's good for the punters, but well, you're not gonna shoot fire out of your hands, are you? It's got to be fisticuffs.
Yeah, I summon the rock fist.
He kind of like eyes it up, and he kind of. So this is like, oh well, yeah, it'd be good for a show, wouldn't it?
All right. You got a big
I
card
just-
in your hands with a boulder about to knock someone out.
Says whatever brings them in. This is
All
like,
right.
all right, now, yeah, I gotta get ready.
I'll see you then.
Oh yeah, see you. Come back in about an hour.
All right.
Don't go get pissed. I've already had one.
All right.
bloody fight. Yeah. And he goes off into the tent. You can hear him. He's like, "Tank, I got something for you."
I head back to my colleagues. Well, what'd you find out?
Dude with the helmet's called Griff, possibly.
Good.
Oh, and he's got the other one that's not him with the helmet is like this super scary chick apparently. Like everyone reckons she's way worse. She doesn't wear a helmet. Taller than me, not hard. Long black hair, quiet, pale, scary. She comes around.
Oh, she said she had a bow as well. So, no, was it no? Not bow.
Well,
Hang on.
I'm gonna have a fight in an hour, and maybe these people will turn up, maybe they won't. But regardless of that, the guy Judd's gonna give me some information about me.
That dude, he fights dogs. We should.
Oh, sorry, really sorry.
let
She
the
she
dogs-
did have a bow and 2 swords. She said, she's like had swords, but she had a bow on her. Anyway, sorry.
I think we should free the dogs.
Yeah, I'm not into that at all. I mean, I knew you used to promote fights, but fucking dog fighting, the dirty bastard.
Seem to upset the kids, I think it's a win-win. Let the dogs loose.
What about during the fight?
Won't people be asking who let the dogs out?
Oh, damn it, you beat me to it.
You had to unmute. I'm always on.
Aye, so
Oh no, I was on mute this whole
I
time.
am omnipotent.
I think we need a wee plan. Maybe like spread out while I'm fighting. Keep an eye out. If you notice any of these people, inform the rest of us, and maybe we'll follow them.
They apparently like to get drunk at the fights, so maybe I don't know. Can you,
I've got my.
Can you like lace it with something like?
Well,
maybe-
it's strong. This will get him like knockout drunk. This is the good. The
Yeah.
good rock.
Otherwise,
rock
what
elf.
if you
rock
want- I
gnome,
could
rock
just-
elf? What am I? Rock gnome. Oh, that's what I said earlier, but it's not. We're just using that character sheet, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think
It's fine.
it's-
Rock gnome.
but
Rock gnome wine.
yeah, still works.
Experimental wine. Patri would really like to go look and see if he can spot anyone who's sort of gambling or betting on the fights. Like there's always usually some sketchy person handling all the bets, right?
Someone's taking the action.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if there's someone like that and go put some money on our fighter, and then maybe see if I can get more info about our black-haired like woman, where to find her.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
So, Patri, will you give me an I suppose investigation, or I mean it. Yeah,
Sweet talking people with my wine.
Give me just charisma. Just general charisma, because it could, many methods could be employed. So you could just click the like charisma stat and roll.
15.
Yeah. So
guidance. Can I cast guidance on myself?
yeah. You would have been, because if you're gonna be,
Okay.
But more so just you just, as long as you kind of know that you or someone is like about to attempt something, you can give them just retroactively. It's kind of tricky, but yeah, you can roll a d4 and we can add that.
It's 3.
Oh,
18.
nice. Yeah, so you do find actually, where would he be? So up like let me see. Yeah, so up like up here, or actually I can just sorry, I don't know if you can see. I'll just move Patri and Watson like up to this general area. He's like up around here in the northern side of the camp. You can see like, hang on, I'm actually just gonna, sorry, yeah, up here there is a guy. Yeah, he's been taking bets. It seems like Judd has maybe passed on some info to say that like he's got a fighter, the fight's on, whatever. And he's saying, he's like, yeah, I got this, got this new guy coming in, and Judd said he's gonna get knocked out. Some young guy, used to know him, back in the day. He'd seen him fight a couple of times, blah blah blah. So there is a guy, taking action, and he's sees you. He's now. Well, this is the question. Was Patri wearing his brown cloak? Basically, is he wearing his uniform?
Would he be wearing his cloak here? No, of course he wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Not
I
in a
don't
place
even
like
necessarily
this,
think there. I don't even necessarily think. I don't think gambling would have really necessarily been illegal.
Yeah, no, because he's all about kind of scoping out information and stuff, and that would make him stand out way too much. So I think he would be.
Yeah, he's got it tucked away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he's like, all right. He's like, I haven't seen you before. You looking to get in on the bout?
Yeah, I hear there's some new guy about to get his lights knocked out. Is that true?
Well, I mean, I can't say, I can't say for certain. Anything could happen,
Who's the guy fighting him? Is he any good?
Oh, Tank. Yeah, he's yeah. Well, let's just say there's a reason that old Johnny had a bit too much to drink last night, and we couldn't wake him up. So I think he was shaking in his boots.
So you'd have to be pretty darn stupid to bet on the new guy, then, wouldn't you? Pretty dumb.
Well, as I say, we don't know. It could be, I hear there's maybe some magic involved. So who knows? Could be anyone's fight.
Well, I'll put money on the shitty guy because I'm feeling risky today.
All right. How much are you putting down on this newbie?
Whatever a reasonable amount on the higher end of things that Patri would have. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, even like 5 silver would probably be like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Realistically, because like
Sure.
1 gold piece is a week's wages for a brown cloak.
I'll toss him a. How much do I have? Yeah, I'll toss him a 5 silver, I guess.
Yeah, he's like, he says, I'm guessing you're not a resident in the camp then. And yeah, 5 silver, and I'm gonna say he's got Doral at 6-1.
6-1. Let's make it a gold. Let's make it a gold and then here I'll offer him some wine and try and be buddy, and then
Yeah, he's like, oh, thank you very much. Yeah, he's just like, well, it'll be a good. Seems like we'll have a good night celebrating. Either way, he's like, so, what's got you? You've come down just for the fight?
Yeah,
just better fights in the city.
Nah, just taking a look, getting to know the place. And as he gives me more information, I'll keep upping my bet up to a gold to kind of keep him talking. So I'd want to ask him, oh, I hear there's this, long black-haired woman. Do you know anything about her? Sure like to see her.
Well, yeah, she might give someone a run for the money, Well, I mean, not a boxing match, or maybe, I don't know, but yeah, some of the nastier fights that the butchers run, with kind of weapons involved, fight to the death. I'd say she could handle herself. Looks like a ranger. Yeah, she looks like a ranger, something like that. She had that look. You seem to be like it out here,
Yeah.
I saw,
Where's she
she
from?
was. Oh, I don't know, but she's coming from northeast, wherever the rest of them are coming from. It's not been, honestly, they've been, as long as the fights keep running, they've been leaving old Judd alone for the most part, and me. So it's not too bad, and these poor fuckers around here, But what are you gonna do? That's life, Eat or get eaten,
I hear there's dog fighting too. I'd like to take a look at the dogs, so I maybe can make some better bets on them than I do on the.
Well, I mean. Judd he's a bit secretive about that kind of thing. But I mean, I don't know, for the right price, we might.
All right, here, I'll toss him up and to make it a full gold for the bet.
He's kind of like, oh, well, it's not always just, up to, I sometimes I do, clean out the kennels and, so I could show you the kennels, but, but of course, it's, a gift for a kind of for a VIP tour of the kennels, it's usually charge a little bit more, it's a fee on top of the bet,
All right, well, why don't after the fight I come back around, and if I've made some money, I can give you a good chunk back for a nice private tour of the dogs. Do I notice, does he have keys or anything on him for that might look like for a kennel? Something that
He does not. Not that. Well, I'll make a perception check.
With that investigation, I'm scoping, I'm searching for it.
It'd be more of a a prolonged kind of snoop, but he's definitely got nothing visible.
Guidance.
He's just he's like, I mean, I could, I can take, but as I say, for a fee, I could take you around the back and show you the kennels. You could inspect the fighters.
Cool. Well, I'm thinking that I'll probably get the crew, you guys, after, and we can maybe try and release the hounds as we make our depart from here. What do you think? I'll try and catch whoever's looking.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be back for that tour. You and I, we got here. I'll slosh a huge, pint of the wine to leave behind for him and say, see you soon. Either rich or poor.
Well, we'll see. And I was going to say, actually, because just realized now it's 9 o'clock now, or it's we've got maybe an hour left in the stream, or maybe a little bit less, because we might have to cut a little bit early. But do people want to call into mission before Doral's fight?
I think so. Yeah, let's have an intermission and then come back for the big fight.
Yeah. Okay. I just so sorry, folks. We'll have our intermission now. We might have to stream might be a little shorter than normal just because we have technical issues that the PC we're hosting on the person our hoster is running on backup power, so it mightn't hold out for the full stream. But so we might cut it a bit early, and I think we'll take intermission now because we've already been going for quite a while. So yeah, we will see you in about 10 minutes.
See you soon.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around for the intermission. Again, for those who just joined us, this is the Cloaks of Mindhelm 5e D&D stream from Penny Dragon Games. And just also to say, I think I forgot to mention it up top, for all our viewers, the Penny Dragon Games merch store for all the streams is now live. So I think there should be a link for that in the chat. And yeah, we have merch up from some of our streams, and we should have more coming up there, including stuff there featuring the fantastic art of DM Richard from playing in Fellowship of the Fallen and his Fellowship of the Fallen art, and also our DM for Humblewood game every other Friday. So check that out if you haven't already. There's some pretty cool stuff on there. So we took our intermission there just before essentially Doral was about to start his fight for some information and a little bit of coin. So things are gearing up now. People are starting to head towards the tent. There's been rumblings that that this is going to be going on, and it's not like there's much else to do. It's kind of quite interesting. So I'm just going to pull everyone kind of up here. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. Just trying to gather what little crowd there is in. Okay, so sorry, I've got tokens coming in. Okay, so there are a few people sort of milling about. There's several people now gathering up, dozens, and have gathered around. Some other just NPCs from around the camp. So you guys can sort of position yourselves around the ring however you like. Just give me 1 second. So you're waiting. I've got, I've just positioned Judd there for now, but he's actually not out of the tent yet. He's still waiting. Don't mind me, I'm just doing secret things behind the screen. So
secret magic DM things.
Yeah. So this plus is there, the fight's kind of everyone's gathering up, and Judd is kind of looking around, looking on the horizon, and sees that a crowd has started to form, and some people are kind of itching, waiting. No one's coming out yet, and he's kind of looking on the horizon, and it's like, the fuck out. He's like, where are they?
I'm gonna have stowed my brown cloak into some kind of a pocket or bag or something while assembling for the fight.
Yeah. And then some people, you know, there's like one or two.
Doesn't
people,
one of us have a cloak of many fashions?
I think you or Andy do, right? I think it might be you actually.
I think I do.
Don't anyway. I had it in a different game, but Andy doesn't have her
Yeah.
hands on one yet anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make I think I've replaced my brown cloak with it. I'm gonna just make it change color and style a little bit so it looks just more like ragged hobo refugee rather than nice fancy brown cloak.
Yeah. No, but so as that's happening, you know, there's like one or two people that aren't like camp dwellers that seem to have kind of come in, you know, from surrounding areas, or possibly like there are a couple of people here who are probably a little bit, you know, they might have been here that long and they've just come into town and they're, you know, whatever, it's kind of a, you know, this you know, they've sort of stopped in a built up area, even possibly on the way from one settlement to another. And yes, there's a couple of people that are like, come on, get on with it. You know, they're like, yeah, you know, it's like, I've paid money to see this, you know. And eventually Judd is kind of looking and he's like, you know, he's like, well, ladies and gentlemen and folk of all description, we have got our fight for the day. You know, old Judd would never keep you waiting. He says, you know, because so without any further ado, he's like, I'll give you our challenger. And he sort of leans over, you know, to gestures for you to step into the ring, Doral.
I'm gonna attempt some sort of jump in there as a bit of a flurry.
Sure, give me athletics.
Sure. My character sheet just bugged for a second. There we go.
Yeah, that's fine. That's enough. Oh yeah. So, yeah, you bound up and kind of do like a, you know, leap in, you know, throw the arms out and land, kind of superhero landing, you know. And then he's like, a challenger, and he kind of leans over not the like ropes, but you know, it's just like a fenced in area, and he's like, what's your name again?
The boulder.
Boulder, you know. Yeah, you know. Some people are like, you know, yeah. Yara is like, you know, does that.
I want to just use prestidigitation.
Oh yeah.
And just make it sound like there's so many more people like cheering, like everyone's cheering in this crowd. Like,
and then he's Judd steps aside and he's like 5, 10, 15. He's like, we have our reigning champion, the one, the only Tank. And then the flaps of the tent sort of, you know, part, and then you hear this like a very loud deep belch, and a huge like mitt like pulls aside the tent flap, and somebody ducks out from under the tent, which the frame of which is like 8 foot high, and then they rise several feet above it, and then stepping out from the tent is this half ogre Tank with a little vest and a big belly. He's like, you know, everyone's it's kind of going on, Tank, and he's you know, kind of plodding over to the ring. You know, oh yeah, sorry, Joel, you can in whatever sort of corner of the ring
Sure.
you want to be in, yeah. And he goes to like, you know, step over the ring, and he kind of like is straddling it, and then is like and kind of stumbles in on one foot, and he you see his ass crack, and he pulls his shorts up, Right! He's like, yo, mate! He's like, come on, little man! He's like, I'll eat you for breakfast.
You're gonna see a semi-worried Andy's head looking at you across the ring from behind this mountain of a tank.
I guess Durl is trying to look cool, but really he's shitting himself. Anyone with any sort of insight, yeah, they can tell.
What's this? Is this playing?
I can hear music.
I hear music.
That's cool. Sorry.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if it was playing. Yeah, I'll put it back. So, yeah, just it's like, come on, let's have it. Let's be having you. And then, so I'm going to roll Tank's initiative.
Sure.
Okay.
So close.
Actually, I'll put that in, and I forgot to clear the order, but I'll just do it manually there in a sec.
Oh, I thought 18. My athletics check was actually his initiative.
Oh no! I've got so I think I'll
17's good. I have a +0.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it.
I'll add you in, and I just need to double check his. Okay, 0. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. He's it's only the 2 year really. So, so he's got 6.
Ooh.
So you are up, and Judd is, he's just come on, ding, 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 and he kind of fight, and Tank starts lumbering up, and he's just like, just like tapping his chest, tapping his chin.
As a bonus action, I'm gonna stamp my left foot onto the floor, and from outside the ring, some rock gathers up, and I summon it to my fist, and now I have a giant rock right hand. And then I move forward 5 feet, and I'm gonna take my action to dodge, and he just sort of gets down in a bit of a defensive stance, but is turned in such a way that most of what he can see is the right arm. He has this special defense where he turns sideways to the enemy.
Yeah.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. Well, Tank. Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, he's just gonna go for. Hit. But that is
Looks so little.
no, that is a 7. Yeah, that is a 7 to hit.
Oh,
So he just actually that wasn't even. Sorry, that was a natural 1 because I didn't roll disadvantage.
Oh,
He just goes like, and he goes down at you, but you dodge out of the way, and he actually hits the floorboards. There's a bit of a he hits the mud, and it's and he actually bounces back, and he is gonna deal half damage actually to himself. What's that? 6 plus 3. Oh yeah. So he takes 4 damage. He just hops his hand off and smacks himself in the face basically. He's like, ah! He's like, shoot me, little man!
Stop calling me little, and I attempt to just counter with a right hook. Let's see, unarmed strike.
Oh, nice.
of 12.
Nice.
Critical hit.
Yeah. Total of 12. So it's like
more roaring. Like the crowd's
so he's
just
like,
like
oh, Stuart. And then Doral comes in, right hook, and just comes in. There's an audible like the slap of meat and bone, and there's like a thunderclap in the air, and there's a brief like as he actually gets like his head knocked to the side, and he's like, "Ugh, ugh," and everyone's like, oh, and everyone starts like, yeah, and then the people in the crowd are like, little man, little man, little man. Yeah, Tank's like, he's like really, yeah, and then he's like, tank, and then everyone's like, little man.
I'm just gonna start
So
like
he
with
goes,
prestidigitation, just chanting tank.
Oh yeah, you got
tank,
bonus
tank.
action. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
I'm
spend.
gonna chant tank sucks with prestidigitation over this. Like when he starts trying to chant his own name.
Yeah.
Dural, seeing that he's got him on the ropes, shouts,
Oops, ignore that. Sorry.
All good. Don't worry about it.
Tank, you beardless bally dancing bucket of troll barf. Never forget, it's the boulder. And I'm gonna hit him with another strike.
Yeah.
Or attempt to.
Fucking unreal. What's that? 14
For another total of 14 with a critical.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
That is so. Yeah. So, okay. So then, Doral. So you went for what left? You're just cracking him across the jaw again, or? Was it just one, two?
Just give him a left this time.
Yeah. Just he's like, oh, and then he's like, oh, a scream, and then Doral is remember, it's the boulder, and then and Tank is knocked to the side. His feet lift off the ground, and he and is just knocked out cold because that was all 30 of his hit points.
In celebration, I just started.
And everyone's just
uppercut in the air, and every time I uppercut, it sends another rock flying into the air.
Amazing. I'm gonna give Doral has a point of inspiration from just that as the crowd was like, woo! Woo! Yeah, and then like, and someone's like, yeah, oh fuck, I've just lost 2 gold.
While the crowd's all cheering, can I look around and see if I spot any of these people that either Jara or Andy described? Any of this crew?
Give me a perception check. So, sorry, did I actually? Well, it's not a spoiler, but I had a label over there.
Natural 2 for a 4.
No, it's pretty. I mean, it's like there's seas of people now, and there's everyone's interested in this, going around oh fucking hell, Tank. Judd is slack jawed.
And can Andy jump into the ring and go over and grab one of Daryl's hands and raise it up for hey, everybody?
Yeah, everyone's like, whoa.
He's just laughing and smiling.
Did Doral have his? I'm assuming he didn't have his cloak on.
No,
or did he leave his cloak?
Whenever I jumped in, I threw it off. To the side.
I'm assuming, but just it was and everyone, and actually, Yara is there's a couple people jump in, and they start kind of they're getting closer.
From inside the ring, while I'm doing this, I want to have a look around the faces around the ring to see. So I'll do a perception to see if I can spot any of our likely. Oh Jesus! All the roll 20s, just went.
No, it's all
fight.
you're looking around as you're looking, people are kind of someone bumps into you, and actually you see this guy slides into the ring, and he's wearing he's barefoot, and he's wearing very little. He's got this kind of a sash, kind of a cloak, toga thing around him, a youngish man, you know, maybe in his late 20s, and he's just kind of like going around, and he, you know, you see him like put his hand on Tank's forehead, and is like, you know, patting him, and he does a little thing, and he casts some magic, you know, and he kind of like settles him, and he's checking him, and you know, he seems to be like, he opens his eye, you know, it's like looking at him, and like, you know, feels his neck and his hand, you know, and he's like, all right, and he kind of he gives Judd like a nod, and you know,
I sort of push people to the side and ask this guy, is he all right?
This guy's like, oh, he's like, he's like, he's fine. He's like, he'll be all right. He's out cold, but he'll be all right. And he's kind of looking at you, and he's like, do I call you the boulder? My name's Rin, and he kind of puts his hand out.
Just 1 second, and Durrell just sort of sits down on his knees and bows respectfully to the Tank, and then stands up and says, and grabs his hand and says, "Hey, well met. I'm Durrell Stonehill."
Like, says, I'm Rin. I and some of the other of my brothers and sisters of the Even Hand Circle are here to give charitable aid. He says, if you're, have you just come into the city? You don't look like you're a man in need of nourishment, but if you find yourselves at a loss, then you're more than welcome to come to the stew pot, and you know, you don't look, he says, well, you don't seem to have any injuries, but well met.
We could go down nicely after this. We'll come and have a chat later.
He says, oh, very well, thank you. And he's kind of, this is Judd, and he's like, he'll be fine.
And Andy has gone over to Pouches, where he is, and she's kind of like muttering to him that like maybe the crowd should start calling drinks all around or something.
People are like,
I'll start that
and
chant.
People are going up to, oh yeah, sorry, drinks all
I
around.
use prestidigitation.
And
like,
you're saying drinks all around. Let's just get the chant going.
yeah.
Yeah, see if these guys arrive for the booze if they didn't come for the fight.
Yeah. Patri, you can see like that guy is, people are going up to the guy that was taking bets, you know, so they seem to be kind of forming a less than orderly queue, you know, to kind of like, you know, collect their winnings, or he's going after people to recoup losses, you know.
Okay. Can I go up to him? I really want to... Can I try and pickpocket him and see if he might have keys to the kennels?
Yeah, sure.
Or access, or like, I guess I scoped it out earlier. Are they locked? I imagine they're...
Well, yeah, so during the fight, did Patri like slip into the tent, or...
Well, I was trying to think. I want to make it like he was there, so he has an alibi, but either during the fight he would have gone to unlock it, or now that it's all busy and stuff, then go and get his bet, like pickpocket the key and give it to Andy or something.
Well, I guess
while I'm getting my money.
Well, yeah, Watson could have gone in and then sort of communicated to you that there are kennels in there and cages for roosters, but they do like they're locked. So someone has keys. Yeah. So it's up. Yeah. So Patrice's gonna try pickpocket somebody.
Yeah. Well, I'll try and pickpocket the bet guy because he said he sometimes goes there. But who's in charge of the kennels?
Judd, the guy over here, like the fight promoter.
Okay. Well, I will try and pickpocket him on my way to the other guy, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, give me sleight of hand.
And I do have, hang on, I picked a thing, but
It's all good. Ooh.
Thieves'
yes.
tools, is that? Oh, sweet, 19.
Yeah, so he
I don't give myself guidance.
he has, they've like tucked in a little thing. He's got you know, a ring of keys. And yeah, you manage to, especially because he's quite distracted. He's just completely like stunned that Tank just went down like that. And he you lift the keys. So you have the keys to the kennels and the cages.
Yeah.
They're inside that, the big tent there.
I'm going to say, actually, I guess while everyone's busy and while the other people are getting their bet money, I will go and just unlock them and zip back really quick as if it never happened.
Just unlock the...
Just to unlock the kennels and then come right back. Because if Judd's here and the other guy's here, and I'll go scope it out.
Yeah. So you can... just give me a stealth check, just to see, because obviously some people might be looking, whether or not they'd even take notice, but just like bystanders and stuff. Okay,
Heavy
so
armor.
13.
Oh, that's what
it
you were
must be
saying
coming
earlier.
up. Yeah, I think
I don't-
because it's... I'll have to sort out the inventory.
Let's see.
14.
14.
So
That's
yeah,
the one.
so you're pretty sure nobody's really paying attention. You slip in and you're able to unlock all of the. It takes a minute. You figure out which keys, whatever. It seems to basically be like one key for the dogs and one for the roosters. But no, you unlock all the cages. Some of the dogs don't really they don't really seem to immediately leap out or anything.
That's
One or
fine.
two
I'll leave
of
it
them,
open and then run back. Let them choose. I want to use Watson to carry the keys back and just kind of maybe drop them near the guy while I go and get my winnings. I want to race to the winnings guy for my bet because he's kind of my alibi, I suppose.
Yeah. So you can do that if you're kind of elbow your way through, and you get there and you get your it'll be 6 gold, right? I think because it's 6 to 1. Yeah. So so you get so I suppose you'd make 6 gold. You wouldn't make 5, right? Because you'd have a profit of 6 gold. I think. So as so that's what Andy and Pouches were sort of making a chant.
While I'm in the ring, I'm just sort of trying to find my colleagues and see if they've seen anyone or if anyone's turned up, or just sort of generally looking around, trying to figure out where everyone is and if there's any of these people I'd heard of before with a visor, etc.
It's not trying to start the chant myself, using prestidigitation, so it can't be seen me doing it.
Yeah. Oh no, I just mean you're and then so drinks all around. I mean, is that with I'm not sure what are you trying to, who are you trying to get to buy a round of drinks?
Well, Andy's idea on it when she suggested it to Pouches was just to be making noise and to be suggesting that there was going to be now drinking and all that kind of stuff, so that hopefully some of these guys would arrive if they haven't already. But because we've all had piss poor perceptions, possibly they're standing right beside us.
So, as things are things start to die down, and and people start to move away. They start making their way downtown. Judd has kind of, some people help Judd drag Tank back inside. Then, pretty quiet. People have begun to disperse, and then where is this now? Sorry, guys. Oh God, sorry. This is being awkward. Yeah, so as you're doing that from God damn it, sorry guys, this is not cooperating with me. So yeah, it's gotten quiet, and Judd is kind of a bit surly, and he's a bit stunned, and Tank has sort of come to, and you can hear him like in the tent. People are drinking, they've got their winnings, and people have started to serve out food from stew pots. There's a bit of revelry, but it's it's mild. The people don't really have much, but they're all kind of talking, and it was it's great. And you hear that like the halfling woman that was sort of putting on the performance, she's talking to some of her other people. They're wearing kind of tattered clothes, but they look like mummers, like performers, and they're like oh yeah, it's like excellent showmanship, and she's like oh, excellent showmanship. She's like, we must talk to him. He's like, yes, we need a good stunt coordinator. Yeah, just like, yes, he's like, we get that on stage combat, really, take it to the new heights, and I'll have to talk, stick around, or as this is going on, there's a pitter patter of starts to drizzle again, as it had been in the morning, and the rain gets heavier, and then suddenly there's like a downpour, and like from 50 feet away to the east, over in this direction, you hear just like this like loud chuckle, and then people you hear someone get shoved into the mud, and something smash, and there is coming into the camp, you see there's like group of about 8 to 10 guys, people coming in. They look like, so you see sword belts, daggers. One guy's got he's carrying a massive like hammer over his shoulder. He's just kind of half stumbling in there, Larry, and they're like, come on. It was like, come on. It's like, there was a fight, come on. It's like, come on, yeah, that's everyone, they're shoving and shouting and piss off, and one of them is like coming in, and then a few of them part, and then stepping into the mucky grounds of the camp, or into the camp proper by the ring. There's a guy standing there with sort of this kind of rather clean chainmail, but it seems spotted with red, and a strange sword at his side, and a spiky, like this sort of spiked mask, a helmet. I'm stepping out, stops at the ring.
Time.
Yeah, sees in the rain. He sees all of you. He clocks a couple of cloaks. He's trying, like.
I don't know if any of us have cloaks on anymore.
Oh, did you all take them off? Oh,
has
you
put his back on?
Yeah.
Daryl took his off for the fight, and he
Not
took
yet.
hers off to talk to the kids.
Yeah.
Petrie took hers off to make a bet, and I changed mine.
Yeah, they come in anyway because they're still coming in. They're eyeing, all these, these new people. This guy's swaggering in.
I'm sort of
Well,
looking for Judd and my colleagues. I was in the squirrel.
And Andy's perched kind of sitting on top of the fence that is making up the ring
Yeah.
in the rain.
Well, look at this. Oh, newcomers. Isn't that lovely? Fresh meat. New neighbors for our little community. Who knows what they could be doing here, you know? It is our job to keep this place safe. You know, it's what the people pay us for, isn't it? And you know. Ah, that's right, Griff. Yeah, that's right. Well. And, who might you folks be? And what are you doing in my camp?
I look at him and I say, well, I just sparked out Tank. He's up in that tent, snoring. Maybe you should watch your fucking tone.
Maybe you should watch your fucking tongue if you'd like to keep it in your head.
Yeah, I toss a rock at him.
Toss a rock at him?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, hang on.
How many of these people are there at this point?
8 to 10, he said.
Hang on. So give me a perception check. Everyone, give me a perception check.
Sure.
Oof, Jesus.
"13 is our best."
Wow.
And Dural.
It looked
2
like
8s, a 12,
there
and a
was,
13.
Yeah, it looked like there was let's go fuck off. It looked like there was like a few more of them, it looked like a few more of them, but like maybe, yeah, but like 8 to 10, but you're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 7 of them gathered up now. And you throw in the rock. So
Is there anyone else around them? Like other people?
People are
like,
starting. People now again are seeing this. They're like,
no, but I mean,
scurrying.
have people like backed off as soon as they walked in, kind of thing? Is there like a clear space between them and everyone else?
Yeah.
Sweet.
people
As
started
Doral throws the
scattering.
rock, I'm gonna just start chanting, hands under the cloak, and I am going to drop a shatter on them.
Just because if Doral has initiated, so he'll get his in, and then it'll be we'll kick off. So Yara had started to kind of move, you know, a little bit as they came in. So Doral, Doral kicks up a rock, punches, and you give me
So
an attack roll.
I'm going to deliberately miss, and I want to use it as a form of intimidation.
Okay, so
Back on them.
yeah, so you would just aim. Yeah, Doral kicks one up, like, and punches, and it lands right in the mud in front of this guy, and splashes up on him.
And I just say, why don't you fuck off back to the hole you came out from?
I was clearly hyped still from the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. It's a lot nicer than the hole I'm going to put you in, son. And he draws out this serrated blade. His man, one guy pulls a maul, another guy points a glaive, this guy pulls a mace and a shield, another's a dwarf, pulls out 2 hand axes, and then that's initiative. And I think we're gonna have to leave it there, folks, because we got 10 minutes left, and this is gonna be quite a fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a proper
and we will,
melee.
yeah. That was I like that, man. That tank fight was amazing.
Man, I'm just glad I didn't have to spend a load of resources to kill that guy, and now
Yeah.
to fight these people.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, anyway, yeah, thanks for joining us, folks. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, because it really helps us out, and we get to make more of these, and we get to see more crits like that. And yeah, if you want to see some dwarves just 1-2 punch a giant half ogre like a bitch.
Clearly, Doral needs to shave his head, and then he could have done it in one punch.
Exactly. You get there. You are now currently just the 2-punch man.
Yeah,
You will get
2-punch
there.
man. Yeah.
So
Next time I'll unlock some sort of
hang
feature
on.
like consecutive normal punches.
just want to make a note of something I just thought of. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought of something that you'll see next session that I just thought of. So, based on something that one of you did. So, thanks very much, everyone, for joining us, and we will be back in 2 weeks' time. So, Sunday after next, same bat time, same bat channel.
Remember to tune in for,
yeah. Thanks very much.
Remember to tune in for Tuesday with our friends who are doing things. I don't know. I missed the last Tuesday games. I don't know what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, the Fellowship of the Fallen will be back on Tuesday, and then Friday we'll have DM Dave coming back with Sovereign Saga, and Fona will be back for that as Scales. And then on Violet Madness then on Sunday, where DM Dave is a player actually.
With Mark running the game.
Yeah, little DM.
So tune in and check it out.
Yeah, and there's already Fellowship of the Fallen and Violet Madness merch actually up on the store. So go check that out if you haven't, and we will see you next time.
And if you want to check out any of our other channel or any of our previous things, we are on YouTube.
We are. You can catch up with all the Brown Cloaks antics and everyone else's streams. Find out what we've been up to. So yeah, we'll see you soon, and thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.
See you soon, guys.
Cheers, everyone. Have a great evening.